Good morning and welcome back to Flashback Friday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Battletech Technical Readout 3055. Now, this is the second of the technical readouts set during the clan invasion era. The first one being Technical Readout 3050, which you can see in the previous videos that I've done. But this one basically takes the clan invasion story and moves it forward about 5 or 6 years, depending on what year exactly you're using as your reference. For me, I always go with 3050 because that's the year on the cover of the technical readout. But officially, the clan invasion happened in 3049. So technically, we're 6 years into the future, but the only things that we had seen from the clans really were the original 16 Omnimechs. Now, additional units had come out in books such as the Clan Wolf Sourcebook or the Clan Jade Falcon Sourcebook. You had a few mechs scattered here and there throughout different resources, but in 1992 they released the next technical readout, being 3055. Basically, it gives you new units for both the Inner Sphere and the clans, some new Omni-mechs, some new second-line mechs for the clans. Second-line mechs are basically anything not Omni-mechs. The clans feel that the Omni-mechs are for the true frontline warriors, and anything else is basically for, like garrison units or less important clan mech warriors. So in this book we actually see some of that development. We also see the advancement of the technology by the Inner Sphere. How are they adapting to the clan invasion, this new technology that they hadn't encountered before? Now, one other feature is that this is also the last book that actually features mechs that would be considered unseen. Now, in this particular case, it's not because of mechs that had been licensed under, awkward circumstances. But overall, the book represents essentially a kind of compilation of material that had come out previously. So what we're going to do, as usual, is we're going to go through, we're going to flip through, look at some of the art. I like looking at a lot of that classic art that was used to represent these battle mechs. And then I'll just kind of give you my thoughts, some of the things that I thought about when I originally got this book 30 years ago. I'm getting old, folks. But before we do that, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I do try to put out a few videos each week covering anything from miniatures games, board games, role-playing games, or anything in between. I'd love for you to come along and see what we have to share. Also, down below, you will find links to our social media. There's an Amazon affiliate link and an affiliate link to Drive Through RPG. If you feel like you want to support the channel in some way, I would absolutely appreciate it. And be very grateful for it. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the book. All right, now on the cover we actually have a clan Jade Falcon. You can see that by the Jade Falcon in the icon there in the back. This is a behemoth. Now this is the original version of the behemoth. Eventually it would be changed so that there were 2 guns on top. And while it's its own design, it, in my personal opinion, was always supposed to kind of be that, how do I want to put it, the monster from Macross, because they hadn't ever really done anything like it, because in Battletech, the behemoth would be like a ultra super heavy or something along those lines. It was definitely a large or an oversized mech for the Battletech universe. But for me, I've always loved this piece of art. If I have the miniature, I just have not yet gotten around to painting it, and like this is this is the paint scheme I'm going to use, because again, to me, this is just kind of that icon for this particular book. You also then get a little bit of sort of a blueprint there in the back, which they actually didn't do that for any of the other mechs in the book, but you know, it is what it is. All right. So again, published 1992. Our artists are Dana Knutson, Mike Nielsen, Joe Bisk, Bill Sutherland, and Tom Miller. Apparently this is the corrected second printing. And then again, it is treated as the, basically report from the Comstar ComGuard. Basically, their archives and their research about what's happening with the mechs of the era. I'm not 100% certain what this is, but I believe this would be like a Rifleman 2C. They then talk about Inner Sphere prototypes. So I'll show that on the page. Basically, because in universe it's supposed to represent that the great houses now recognize the clan threat, and so what are they doing to improve and modernize their militaries? So they talk about how most of these mechs are new, they're untested, it's things that people are trying. Essentially what happens during war, where contractors and developers are going to make equipment that they think will work, but they don't really have a chance to test it until it's out in the field. So, all right, so starting with our light mechs at 20 tons, we've got the Fireball. Now this, I will admit, I don't have all of these mechs like I did for a lot of the others, but for me, a lot of it does come down to the art. This I am, I'm going to say just based on the fact that it has a Streak SRM2 and a machine gun. I don't know, maybe they were just trying to see what they could do with it. But obviously, that's where the strength of the technical readouts comes in, because you do get the overview, the capabilities, and how it was actually used, or quote-unquote should be used. We've got the Dart with a bunch of pulse lasers. The Tarantula, a personal favorite of my quad-loving friend. The Jumping mech with 2 medium lasers and an SRM2. The Battlehawk. Now, a lot of this art, it still kind of keeps that that kind of sketch look where you've got lines that cross over, like they weren't necessarily cleaned up. I like that style. Yes, it's old. Yes, some of the proportions are off. I don't care. It's what I grew up with. But we've got the Hammer, the Hitman. Now, a lot of these designs are, I'll admit, they're kind of weird. Some are good, but this one gets a lot of, hey, we're trying things. Hey, somebody sketch up a mech. Because, I'll be honest, a lot of them are not defining for the era. We've got the Scarabus, the Hollander, the 35-ton mech sporting a Gauss rifle, or Gauss cannon. I think it's, so it says Gauss cannon. Honestly, I think it's supposed to be just a Gauss rifle. I'd have to look at revised versions of the book. But basically 35 tons and the Gauss cannon, and that's it. Because you're not fitting anything else anyways. I think I missed one. Yeah, there we go. The Venom, an upgraded alternate version of the Spider, hence why it's the SDR. Alright, then into our medium battle mechs. Now this was fun. They put in some color plates, so we've got the Daimyo. Similar to like what they did in 3026, although these are on glossy stock, and seem like almost like early computer generated pieces of art. Like let's zoom in, see if we can focus on this. Basically, if you look here along the fingers, they're very, very jagged, as opposed to like a smooth line that you would get with a pencil. It's like somebody tried to draw this on a computer. Yeah, again, it was 92. Obviously, computer art programs existed, even if they weren't so great. The Watchman, the Komodo, the Snake, the Stealth, the Huron Warrior, the Night Sky. Night Sky does actually have a plastic version from Catalyst, so this one has survived. The Apollo, the Grim Reaper, the Wraith. Also, I believe this one came out in the Alpha Strike box in plastic. Alright, on to our heavies. We've got the Anvil, the Tempest, the Daikyu, the Galloglass. Not a bad piece of art, but head seems a little bit oversized. Not bad. Hercules, the Thunder, definitely not the greatest piece of art. The Bandersnatch, Falconer, Penetrator. I've done some stuff with some 3D prints off of this one. This is not bad. The Ill Clan version is a lot better. The Rakshasa and the War Dog. Alright, getting into our assault mechs. We've got the Salamander, the Gunslinger. This one I have struggled with. I have the model. I have no idea how I'm going to paint it. The Albatross, the Cerberus, the Naginata, Berserker, Grand Titan, and then we get to the clan section. Now, this I think is nice. They actually include the Inner Sphere names and the clan names. I'll be honest, I'm going to forget a lot of them as we go through. But basically, because of the invasion, they're then going into the story about how the clans are adapting. What are they bringing to the table? What second line mechs are they going to start including? So Inner Sphere refits. Now these are basically clan versions of Inner Sphere mechs. Now these are these are the unseen mechs. These were designed as down here it says copyright 1992 Victor Musical Industries. So part of the reason that they became unseen is because even though FASA contracted out to have the art done, they basically, because it was done by an outside house, not like, you know, it still says copyright Victor Musical Industries, which if I recall correctly is still one of the same design houses from that did a lot of the original art anyways, like the Macross and the Dougram, that kind of art. So there was basically, because even though Battletech had contracted to get that work done, basically just to avoid any licensing legal issues, they just said, nope, we're done. We're not dealing with any of it. And so that's why when they went to revised and the upgrade version, they took this particular art out. Although I'll be honest, I absolutely love the original 2C art. So we've got the Locust 2C, the Phoenix Hawk 2C, the Griffin 2C, the Shadowhawk 2C. Like, as a kid, I mean, this looks like anime art. I mean, again, look at who it's coming from. And we really hadn't seen that in Battletech. We got American versions of this Japanese style. So, for them to put some in the book that very much looks like the Japanese style. Also, much more dynamic, very good posing. Nothing against the American artists, but they also seem a little bit more realistic as far as their design and their proportions. The Jenner 2C, the Warhammer 2C, the Marauder 2C. So there's our 2Cs. All right, the second line mechs, basically it's clan design, so they're not based on Inner Sphere designs. But again, they're non-Omni mechs. And we've got the Baboon, the Vixen. I like this one. It very much looks like a Macross Valkyrie, but a little different. The Peregrine, Hellhound, Goshawk. This one's definitely been improved in the Ill Clan era. The head looks so absolutely tiny over here. The Galahad, basically the Gauss rifle version of the Rifleman. What's not to love? The Viper, which looks like an airplane with legs. And the Behemoth from the cover. And the Kraken, that just looks weird, and I'm not quite sure how it works, but whatever. The new version is way better. And then we get some new Omni-Mechs, starting with the Phantom, the Pouncer, the Linebacker, the Naga, and then finally we get some information on Clan Aerospace Fighters. Basically, they didn't include any aerospace fighters in 3050, so now they're adding those in so you can, play games of Aerotech. So we've got the Vandal, the Bashkir. I will admit, I regret having never played Aerotech back in the day, and I really do need to fix it. I realize Total Warfare covers it, but I kind of want to get out the old school Aerotech rules and run those. The Avar, the Batu, the Sulla, Turk, the Visigoth. Now this one, from the Mercenaries Kickstarter, they made this one available. So Catalyst has now done 2 aerospace fighters, 1 Inner Sphere, 1 Clan. The Jagatai, the Sabutai, Genghis, Scythia, or Skitha. There's no I there, sorry. And the Kyrgyz. And that does it. So, I'll be honest, not a lot in here that's very iconic for me. To me, a lot of the fun does come just from the fact that it's another technical readout and it's more big stompy robots. So I enjoy these. I hope you enjoyed at least this kind of look at some of the older art. Sorry I don't have as many fun stories about this one, but I'll try to do better for the next book. But overall, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Share it around if you think anyone would get a kick out of this. But other than that, let me know which is your favorite. Was this a book that you kind of went nuts for, or was it sort of like me where it's like, oh yes, new tech readout, I'm going to buy it, and then you don't really use it? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you more about it. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget all of our links to social and affiliates down in the description. But other than that, thank you for watching, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.